Hello brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode here on Dangerous African Confessions HD. In this episode, we have the continuation of the story from our brother who is shared with us the kind of life he has lived and how his action is tormenting him. In this captivating story, Benjamin shares with us the kind of life and the things he has done when seeking for money and wealth. He says some astonishing things that got me into disbelief. Now, he is telling us to be more careful of our actions and our quest in finding money because, even him, the kind of problems he's facing now, is what caused him to tell us about his life as a young man seeking for wealth. As part of our policy, I've edited the names, locations to hide their identity. Without wasting much of your time, let's go and listen to the story.
After everything, I went to my mother and told her the good news. It was like almost getting to a year since I left home. She had not set her eyes on me all through that time. She was full of tears when she saw me. I ate from her plate once again from that long period of time that I had eaten with her. After everything, she prayed for me and blessed me. I gave her some money and promised I would be visiting her every month. My younger brother had grown and was very happy to see me. He wanted to come with me. But I told him to take care of our mother. I told them my plans to have us all live in one house in the very near future. This brought so much joy in the face of my brother and mother. I left them and came back to my base to continue my hustle in order to make this promise a reality. I came and this man rented a single-room apartment for me to stay. And even promised to do a lot for me as time goes on. All this while, I was still working in his shop, doing the design works I was doing for him. He called me one day to his house. When I went to the house for the first time, I couldn't appreciate the beauty of the house like this time. I was able to appreciate the beauty of his house. This was just a beauty to watch. He asked me to come inside and I was given a glass of drink by one of the servants in the house. In fact, he was really living like a king. Every place in the house, and everything you see in the house will tell you that the person living in this house is really wealthy. After some few conversations with me when he finally came to have a chat with me, he told me that he really liked me and would not only want to help me, but rather show me how to fetch for money myself. I didn't think of it as any evil thing. This man genuinely seems to have a very soft spot for me. He said that he didn't have the artistic eye that I have. And if he has been able to make it in this industry, then I can just make it, and even surpass him. He told me that for every man or woman to be successful in life, that person has a secret that they don't share with anyone. Not even their partners. I asked him what kind of secrets he was referring to. He told me that the secret is not one specific thing. But then I should know that for me to be successful and become wealthy or for my ambition to come to light, I must have a secret that I cannot share with anyone. Unless I am ready to show someone the way. He said he wanted to show me the way and so, he was ready to let me know his secret to his success. I asked him what the secret of his success then is. But he told me that he will reveal them to me any after the other. And I'll get to know it when the right time comes. He gave me money and asked me to start putting up a shop on the land he gave to me. So that I can use that place as where I make all my beautiful furniture design, before they are taken to the showroom. That day, he brought out a contract and asked me to take the contract to the house and read through the contract carefully, and if I am satisfied with what is in the contract, then I should sign so we can become partners officially. This was simply like a dream that was never going to end. A poor guy who was wondering how my life was going to unfold is now here, sitting right in front of one of the well-known furniture dealers in the country. And he is asking me to become his partner. This thing needed no time wasting. I wanted to just sign the contract right in front of him. But the fact that he said I should take the contract home, I wanted to respect that. I went home and that very evening, I signed the contract. And gave him a call that, I have read through it and I am satisfied with the terms in the contract. I was to supply him any new designs I create first before I can have the chance to give any additional dealer. But even that, I was to inform him of such deals. All those things didn't matter to me. Because I wasn't going to give anything to anybody aside him. So when I started producing the furniture from the structure that was built on the land he gave me, he realized the designs I was producing was very unique and not in town. After about 3 months or so of doing the work, he told me that he wanted to introduce me to some group who will help protect me and my works from any unforeseen hands. He told me that they were also owning big companies in different industries. I was very happy, and so he took me to the place to meet these men. Some were old and there were some too who were young as me. He introduced me to them as his godson and partner. They welcomed me in such a very lovely way. Age was not a factor there at all. It was as if we were of the same age. In some minutes into our conversation, one old man came and just mentioned my full name. Even this man that I was working with didn't know my full name. I mean, the old man was able to mention even the name that I am called back home. He asked me to follow him. When I was about to leave that place, my boss told me not to be afraid and that he was waiting for me. Everything will be all right. I went with the old man into a particular room. Nothing in particular was in the room except there was a circle drawn on the floor and there was a book in the circle. The man told me to go and stand in the circle and pick the book. I asked him, before I do that, I wanted to know why I was there and what I was going to do. He told me that high duty is to perform some rites for me so that every design that I put out there will be accepted by the public. And by so doing, a lot of dealers will rush for my works, thereby making me a wealthy man. It sounded good, so I picked the book and he asked me to just place the book in my palm and just watch on. He started going circles around me and speaking in a language that I didn't understand. After a while, I saw the book flipping by itself. He then told me that when the book stops flipping, I should check what is written on the pages there. So, when the book stopped flipping by itself, I checked and it was written that, I will make all nations hear of you, and I will make you a pillar of golden ornaments. If only you hear my words and abide by my rules and keep my commandments. After reading it out to him, he told me to close it and place it back where I picked it. Just after putting the book back on the floor, I don't know what happened, the book disappeared right there in my presence. The man told me there are some rituals that I also need to perform, and when that is done, I can go back home and start my journey of becoming the man I so wish to become. He told MT that there are some concoctions and mixtures that I was supposed to bath and drink some. He told me I was supposed to do everything in that house. So I came back and told the man that brought me. He told me I should go on with it, for there are many rooms in the house and he will stay there with me till I am done with whatever I was supposed to do. My bathing and drinking of these mixtures were done the following day at night. It was around 12 a.m. when I took my first bath. I walked around the house naked whilst the water was still on my body till it was around 1:30 a.m. There was this thing like an altar board in a place on the compound of the house. After the bath, I was made to go there naked and swore on that altar that I will always abide by whatever instructions that will be given to me and respect each member and keep everything a secret from the general public. After the vows, I was given a cloth that was red and a black pen to write the names of the people I so much love in my life. I was told from the start that I was undergoing these things so that I can protect myself from people who might think evil for me and also make people patronize my design. So, my childish thinking was that me writing the names of my loved ones meant that they were also going to be protected. So, I wrote my mother's name first and followed it with my younger brothers. I never knew that names given on the altar was meant that whatever I was swearing that oath to was going to cast a dice. I choose one as a sacrificial lamb for my wealth. This part was hidden from me. If I knew about this thing, I wouldn't have written their name. Never would I have done that. So when everything was done for me, I returned with the man and we started working hard. And within some few months after visiting that place, business was booming and sometimes I am even late in producing for our clients. I had money this time and was living good. So I decided to go and bring my mother and brother to live with me. Because that was the very promise I made to them. The very day I had that plan in my head, my younger brother called me in the evening that my mother had fallen sick and was vomiting blood. Every blood she vomits, she mentions my name. So, I should rush and come home. So, we can do something about her sickness. Immediately after the call, I got into my car and drove out, heading towards my hometown. I got there late in the night. When I got there were people gathered in the house crying. As soon as my brother saw me, he rushed to me crying as he tells me that our mother is dead. This news shook the very veins in my body. I sat down on the floor without even realizing it. After some time, I decided to go and see my mother's body. The body was still in her room. But the more I got close, the more something was pushing me away from getting close to the body. I couldn't get close to the body. I came out of the room and gave my uncle some money and asked them to put the body in the mortuary. I told my uncle I wanted to go back and put my work and house in order and then return the next day. He agreed and I took my younger brother with me. As soon as I got back, I called the man and told him of what has happened. He was unusually quiet on the phone. He told me to meet him in the house in the morning. I went to meet him and that was where I got to know that my mother's death was actually my own doing. I had sacrificed her in exchange of the wealth I had signed for and the things that I was going to become in the future. He told me that I should remember that he had already told me that every successful person had his own secret. Now I have my own secret and no one should hear about it. Or else, they will not respect me. When they get to know that I killed my mother for whatever I have. It was there that I got to know that he had sacrificed his 2 children because he didn't have a mother nor father to sacrifice. I have buried my mother, I gave her a very befitting burial. But then, deep within me, I am not okay. Anytime my younger brother talks about her, then it is like a sharp knife is being used to pierce through my heart. I can't bear the pain that I am going through, knowing that I am responsible for her death. Please, no amount of wealth is worth having the blood of someone on your hands. My conscience is really fighting me. Please be you and watch how everything will play out for you. And when people are helping you, try and know why they are helping you. Sometimes, they lead you to where you don't want to go. Thank you, brother, for your time.
Please kindly subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. Like I always say, these are not just stories for story's sake. They are meant for us not to make these mistakes our brothers and sisters are making. That's why we share these stories with you. Let us please be vigilant of the things that we encounter and leads us into these kinds of situations. All these people come to us in disguise. They will promise you with everything in the world, so you don't see them for who they truly are. I pray that we learn from some of these stories and live a better life. If not for anything at all, it pays to live a decent and better life. As I always say, we are not here to race with ourselves. Therefore, do the little you can and ask your Creator to bless your handwork. Please let's be mindful of the choices that we make. Stay blessed and be safe. Thanks for being a part of this growing family. Kindly share your thought with us in the comment section below. And if you are new here, please subscribe, like and share.